Welcome to another episode of our live stream, My Journey to the Trinity. My name's Hussein. Happy to be with you. Happy you can be with me. I hope you're having a good night or day, wherever you are. Sometimes it's daytime here and it's nighttime somewhere else, or it's nighttime here, daytime somewhere else. So, yeah. So, I've been thinking about one particular verse in the Quran. It says, the Quran is a complete, fully detailed, elaborate. It says, shall I seek a judge other than Allah when it is He who has revealed to you the book fully detailed? It is so detailed. It's got everything you need to know. Fully detailed, and there's so many verses like this, but then of course there's a contradiction because there's another place where it says the Quran is sometimes clear and sometimes ambiguous. In Arabic, mutashabih, what's the other word? Mutashabih, uh, I can't remember the other word. Mutashabih and I can't remember the maruf, clear. So, the Quran itself says that there are certain verses that are unclear. And if you are only thinking about those verses that are unclear, then you got a disease in your heart. Hello, Abla. God bless you. Mubhamad. Mutashabih. Yeah, well, Mutashabih is one of them. And what is it? What's the other one? Mutashabih. Quran is Mutashabih. Let me see if I can find this verse because it's. I bet you it's easy to find it just because of the disease in their heart. If you focus on the unclear, um, okay, there's a sickness in their heart. There's okay. Oh, apparently there's lots of verses about the sickness in their hearts. Let's look at the disease. What's the other? Clear and ambiguous. I know in Arabic, in English, the word is ambiguous. Um, we give them clear scripture. There's several of these passages here. Let me show it to you. There's a contradiction of the Quran. Hamat, mubhamat. Okay. Um, okay, elusive verses. Okay. Some of the verses are precise and they are the foundation of the book, while others are elusive. Surah Al Imran 3:7. Let's see. هو الذي أنزل عليك الكتاب منه آيات محكمات محكمات آخر متشابهات. Okay, so some of them, Allah sends you verses. I think that may be محكمات, yeah. محكم ومتشابه. There's the محكم, which is absolutely clear. Mutashabih, which is allegorical or ambiguous. Ambiguous, they're not clear. It says, and it says, those with deviant hearts follow the elusive verses. Okay. And and it makes you wonder, on the one hand, the Quran says that it is clear, that it is a clear book. Okay. I'm just going to This is one of the verses of the Quran that is just so unclear. Just kidding. I think this is 3:7. 3:7. Put 37 there. Just to show, and there's so many other verses like this. This is not Mahkamat has only one tafsir. Okay. Mahkamat. Yes. Thank you, Abla. And okay. Just to kind of show you the contradiction in the Quran. Okay. On the one hand, it's supposedly, on the one hand, it is a book that is fully detailed. And then on another hand, some verses are unspecific and some that are specific, precise and unspecific. Sometimes it says ambiguous. And good luck. There's no chance you'll ever understand it because only Allah knows it. And if you try to understand what's the undetailed, unspecific, you have a disease in your heart, according to the Quran. So you're kind of stuck in limbo here. I wanted to look at one particular verse that is very. I'd like to kind of look at how different scholars translate this verse. Okay, this is one. This whole week we're looking at so-called detailed, clear verses of the Quran. This whole week, it's like a. It's true. So it's like patching up an old jacket that has none of the original material. Okay. So this verse 36:14. Let's just look at it real quickly. Okay. It's Surah Yasin, which is another headache. What does Yasin mean? 36. Oh, is it Yasin or An'am? Okay, 36:14. Okay. It says, we sent to them 2 messengers, but they rejected both. So we reinforced the 2 with the 3rd, and they declared, we have indeed been sent to you as messengers. Okay, now this is a pretty important verse, you guys, because it says 2 messengers. I mean, messengers. That's pretty important. اثنين فكذبوهم فعززناه بالثالث, with the 3rd. فقالوا إنا إليكم مرسلون. So أرسلنا مرسلون. Okay. It says we sent to them 2 messengers. Okay. Here it says we sent to them 2 apostles. We sent to them 2, but they denied them. So we strengthened them with the 3rd. We said, indeed, we are messengers. Where mursilun means messengers. It's the same word that's used for Muhammad when they call him a Rasul. And it's also used about Jesus. In chapter 4, verse 171 says, Isa bin Maryam Rasul Allah, meaning the messenger. So it's a very big deal to be called the messenger of Allah in Islam. And so these guys are 3 Rasuls. Okay, 3 Rasuls. But who are they? Who are these 3 Rasuls? Okay, we don't know nothing about these guys, and so we're kind of, we're kind of like left hanging, like, who are these guys? Let's look at the context. Maybe the context will clarify for us. Let's see if it would. 36. Let's look at 36:12. Okay. We warn people whose forefathers were not warned. A decree of torment has been justified. Okay. It is as if we put shackles around their necks up to their chins so that their heads are forced up. And we placed a barrier before them and a barrier behind them and covered them all up so they failed to see the truth. In the same, it is the same whether you warn them or not, they will never believe. You can only warn those who follow the reminder and are in awe of the most compassionate without seeing him. So give them good news of forgiveness and honorable reward. إنما تنظر من أتباع الذكر وخش الرحمن بالغيب فبشرا بمغفرة وأجرة كريم. Okay. All right. Then it says, it is certainly we who resurrect the dead and write what they send forth and what they leave behind. Everything is listed by us in perfect. إن نحن نحيي الموتى. Okay, so give them an example, a prophet, of the residents of a town when messenger. وَأُضْرُمْ لَهُمْ مَثَلًا أصحاب القرية إذ جاءها المرسلون. Okay, there's a village where the messengers came. And we sent 2 messengers, they rejected both, so we reinforced the 2 with the 3rd, and they declared, we have indeed been sent to you as messengers. Okay, and people replied, you're only humans like us. The messengers respond, O Lord, our Lord knows that we have truly been sent to you. Our duty is to deliver the message clearly. The people replied, we definitely see you as a bad omen for us. If you do not desist, we will certainly stone you to death, and you will be touched with painful punishment from us. Okay, so the question is, who are these 3 actually? Who are these 3 messengers? And I know we have different, ideas about who they are. I kind of wanted to look at, first of all, kind of curious what the different most famous commentaries have to say about this. Let's look at Ibn Abbas, 36:14. Because the Quran is very clear and very clear. It says, we sent unto them 2 apostles, Simon the Canaanite and Thomas. And they were both denied. So we reinforced them with the 3rd and strengthened them with Simon Peter. Okay. So according to Ibn Abbas, okay, we can go ahead and let's go ahead and write down who they are according to Ibn Abbas. Now, this is Muhammad's cousin, Ibn Abbas. Okay. He says that it's Simon the Canaanite. Okay. And Thomas. Then they reinforce him with Simon Peter. Okay. That's what Ibn Abbas says. Okay. All right. Now let's look at what the next guy says. This is the clear Quran, guys. And so this is supposed to be clear. Kashf al-Asrar. Now, Kashf al-Asrar, I believe, is Ayatollah Khomeini, which would be honestly, it doesn't look like he has it. Let's just look just real quickly. 36. Okay, no. He wisely avoided it. Okay, let's say Jalalain. Who Jalalain say that this is? 36:14. Okay. We sent to them 2 men. They denied them both. We reinforced them with a third. We reinforced the 2 men. The third, we said we have been okay. Now Jalalain doesn't speculate who they are. Al-Kashani, 36. Okay, Al-Kashani doesn't go that far. Okay, Ibn Kathir. Okay, Ibn Kathir, 36. I'm going to say, he says 13. Let's see if he has it. Okay. Akbar. Okay, now here, Ibn Ishaq reported that the city was Antioch. So it was, we don't know the city either. We don't know the city either, but Ibn Kathir says the city is Antioch. So the clear Quran, okay, doesn't tell us what city they are. Okay, so but Ibn Kathir does clarify the name of the city. Okay, Ibn Kathir. Okay, the city is Antioch. And the messengers are, who are the messengers? Oops, I should put this up here so you guys could see it too. Okay, I should put it up here so you guys could see it too. Okay, Ibn Kathir says it's in city of Antioch, in which there was a king named Antiochus. Antiochus. The son of Antiochus, who used to worship. So this guy is like Antiochus the third, because the king was called Antiochus, the son of Antiochus, the son of Antiochus. Okay, from the city of Antioch. You know what? I think that would be a good song there. King Antiochus, son of Antiochus, son of Antiochus, from the city of Antioch. Okay, so who used to worship idols? Allah sent him 3 messengers: Sadiq, Saduk, Shalom. Okay, so Ibn Kathir, this is now this is Ibn Kathir telling us who Ibn Ishaq said. Ibn Abbas, Wahab, Ibn Ishaq report. This is Ibn Ishaq who's saying this. So Ibn Ishaq says that the messengers were Sadiq, Saduk, and Shalom. Sadiq, Saduk, and Shalom. This whole thing could be a rap, man. Antiochus from Antioch, and Sadiq, Saduk, Shalom. Sadiq, Saduk, Shalom. From Antiochus. And he disbelieved in them, so it's narrated, okay, that it was Antioch. Okay, so several Qatada, Zuhri say this was Antioch. Some of the Imams were not sure. Okay, now, okay. We supported and strengthened the third method. Ibn Jurayj narrated from Wahab bin Sulaiman. The names of the messengers were Shim'un and Yohanna, and the third was Bulis. Okay, so Ibn Jurayj and bin Sulaiman, Ibn Jurayj bin Sulaiman, Ibn Jurayj and bin Sulaiman says the, okay, no, he says that it is, who does it say it is? It says Shim'un, Yohanna, Bulis. Shim'un, Yohanna, and Bulis. Okay, that would be Shim'un is Simon, Yohanna is John, and Bulis is Paul. Okay, so this is Ibn Jurayj and Ibn Sulaiman. Okay. Now it doesn't talk. Okay. And the city was Antioch, according to them. Sent two messenger alone. This was the view of Abu al-Aliya, Qatada. Okay. Okay. Meaning they were amazed. Okay. So we got all of these different messengers so far who supposedly, okay, let's look at Ibn Kathir. Let's look Sayyid al-Maududi, see what he says. 36. Okay, 13. Okay. The early commentators have expressed the opinion that the habitation is the Syrian city of Antioch. Early commentators, okay, sent by the prophet Jesus. Another thing that has been mentioned is the connection with Antiochus was the king at that time. But historically, this story which Abbas Qatada al-Karama, unauthentic Christian tradition is baseless, related on his basis. They have 13 kings in the Seleucid named Antiochus who reigned in Antioch. And the rule of the last king's name, the whole land of Syria and Palestine, including Antioch, were under the Romans. Okay. So who are the messengers? Doesn't tell us. The first time after the event of the crucifixion, people neither appointed messengers, okay? The Quran to be authentic hadith, okay? For this believer. Quran, okay. People of Mecca, but the ignorant people have been involved in understanding the messenger. Now, this isn't saying the names of the prophets here. Okay. People of Thamud said that there was a prophet Salih. Okay, because their messengers came to them as signs. Okay, we don't have, doesn't look like is giving the names of who the messengers are. Okay, so it'd be easy to just say, you know what, it's not that important. That's why I didn't tell it. Well, if it's not that important, then how come so many of the commentators did say who it was? So kind of make up your mind. If it's not important, that's why it's not there. Well, then why do so many of the commentators tell us who it was? Okay. And John bumped into a woman, and Jesus said, "Oh, son of my maternal aunt." So none of these have it. But 36, 14, shoot, 12. Let's go. Sometimes when it has like 12, it will have like 13 and 14 later. So that's why I'm looking at it, Sayyid al-Khudri. And I also wanted to go and see what in Arabic, okay? So now I want to see in Arabic, al-tafsir. Okay, these are the English ones, but I wanted to see because there's so many more in Arabic. If we go to Arabic, we can, there's a lot more. Batash. Okay, let's look at some of the bigger names. Zamashkhari. Let's see what Zamashkhari says. Arid. Okay. المرسلون إليهم اثنين فلما قرب من المدينة okay. Let's see if it tells us. This is a Meshchiri copy. I'm going to put this into Google Translate. Okay, Google Translate. Okay. Yes. Purposely mentioned the one who strengthened, which is Simeon. Okay, so here it's telling us that the one who strengthened is Simeon. And the third, which is Simeon. Okay, so here we're told that the third one is Simeon. Now, Simeon is different from Simon. Okay, Simeon would go with them to the idol, praying and supplicating. They thought he was one of them. He said, if your God is able to raise the dead, we will believe in him. Okay. Simon. Okay, here's Simon. Okay. And the king summoned them. Simon asked, okay, now who do we know who the second one is? Second example is an explanation. So Zamashkhari, okay, Zamashkhari, I'll just go ahead and put that here. Zamashkhari, the Simon and Simeon are, I didn't see the name of the third one, but Simon and Zamashkhari, Simon and Simeon are, okay? So let's go back now and find, now Zamashkhari, I want to find like Tabari. Tabari is a big deal. Okay. Huwala. Let's see how much is it. Okay, now this one isn't too big. Okay. فعززنا بقال زدنا حدث يونس أخبرنا ابن فعززنا جعلنا ثلاثة قال ذلك التعزز قال يبغي فقال إن إليكم مرسلون قال فقال المرسلون الثلاثة لأصحاب القرية. أوكي شو اسماء المرسلون؟ القوم من بأن. أوكي اثنين يدعوهم. أوكي كانوا رسلا أرسل الله. Okay. Okay, I'm going to translate it into English. Okay, put it here in English. أرسلنا إليهم. Okay. Who sent Bashir? He said to, okay, messengers, and the messengers we sent to them, they denied them, reinforced them. Okay. Yahya, Sufyan, Ikrama. He said, the people of the town of Antioch. Okay, so this is in Antioch. Okay. There was a pharaoh in the city of Antioch. Okay, so one of the pharaohs called Abithis ibn Abithis, who worshiped God. Okay, so according to Tabari, in the Tabari, okay, Tabari, it's a pharaoh. There's a pharaoh in the town. A pharaoh named, what was his name? Okay. So there was a pharaoh. Okay, one of the pharaohs. There was a pharaoh in Antioch. Okay, so God sent Sadiq, Mazduk. Okay, Sadiq, Mazduk, Salam. Sadiq, Mazduk, Salam. Mazduk, Salam. Okay, so here the messengers' names are Sadiq, Mazduk, and Salam. Okay, so there Tabari's got Sadiq, Mazduk, and Salam. Okay, but then at the end he does say something about Simon or something like that. Let me see here. Mujahid, on authority of Mujahid, except for awesome. Okay, Yunus. Okay, so let's go back here. All right. Let's see, who's another famous one? Let's go maybe Razi. I like Razi. And El Qurtubi. I think I want to go to Qurtubi first. I'm curious what El Qurtubi is going to say. Qurtubi. عززناهم بالثالث. Copy. شمعون إلى عيسى فأرسل ثلاث. شمعون صفة الراس الحواريون لنصرهم فعاشر حشيا الملك حتى تمكن منهم أستناثيوس فأرفعه حديث إلى الملك فأنس به وأظهر موافقته في دينه فرضى الملك طريقة قال يوما للملك. See, let's look at the English here. Okay, an example of a town, people named Antibes. Okay, there's Arabis was named Shohali. There's also to be Antioch with a T. And there was a pharaoh called Antiochus, son of Antiochus. So the guy was a pharaoh in Antioch, Mahdawi. God sent Sadiq, Suduk, Shalom, who was the third. Okay, so we got here. This was the Mashkhari. I mean, with who was this? Qurtubi. Sadiq Qurtubi. Sadiq Saduk Shalom. Okay, Sadiq, and this guy also has a pharaoh. They also has a pharaoh, which is interesting. So this guy has a pharaoh. Oh, El Nakash narrated. Oh, okay, so another guy named El Nakash said it was Simeon and John. Nakash. Simeon and John. Came for the people of the town, they call them Jeeps. Others said Simeon and John, not Sadiq or Saduk. Strike the parable. two messengers to them. They met, okay, carpenter named in the chapter Yasin. Okay. So we got a few extra names here. And then I'd like to, this is a Qurtubi. I'm curious, I like Al-Razi. Al-Razi, I don't know, there's something about him. There's kind of like this, kind of feel like sometimes he's a little bit more honest than some of the others. Control copy. Let's just see what he has to say here. Okay. Is that how it starts? View. Okay. Control copy. Jesus' permission, mission of two men sent with Jesus. God commanded, okay, send two men. We strengthen them with the third, which means we strengthen them. Okay. We overcame them, subdued them. The first is more apparent and more famous. We omitted the object. We strengthened them both. All of them strengthened from religion was sent. We say the prophet was sent. Okay. Doesn't look like we have the names here from Al-Razi. Okay. So let's go back. Okay, here we have Al-Qurtubi, Ibn Kathir, Al-Baydawi, Al-Suyuti. I like Al-Suyuti. Al-Suyuti is, let's see what he says. فكذبوهم إلى آخر بدل من إذ الأولى فعززنا بالتخفيف تشدد كونا اثنين بالثالث. Okay, it doesn't have a name. Okay, it doesn't have a name here. Okay, that was Suyuti, Jalaluddin Suyuti. Okay, let's see. Fairuz, El Fairuz. Jalal, let's see. Ibn Kathir, Baydawi. Let's look at Baydawi. Baydawi is a recent person. I think he may still be alive, actually. Okay, أموات الأموات بالبعث. اثنين. Let's see if we're getting names from Al Baydawi. Says anything? Paste. And because he did, his messenger and successor, namely John and Jonah, some others say John and Jonah. So, who is this? This is Al Baydawi. Okay. Baydawi, yeah, I can't believe that he did this. Okay. Cardiac. Antakya. Okay, he does say that the village is Antioch. Okay. أرسل عيسى عليهم الصلاة إلى أهلها. Okay, and who are these? أرسلنا إلى أنفع وهم يحيى ويوحنا يونس رسول يحيى ويونس. يحيى ويونس. Dang. Okay. البيداوي. Beidawi. Yahya. Yahya, by the way, you guys, is John the Baptist. I'm going to put JB. And Eunice. Eunice is Jonah, the prophet. So Al Baidawi really dug deep for that one. Okay, I think I put it here. Let's see if it says. It really does say that. But they denied, so we strengthened them, made them stronger. Abu Bakr lightened the pronunciation to mean omitting. Understood. A third, which is Simeon. Okay, the third one is Simeon. So, and Simeon. And people wonder. Okay. And Jesus sent Simon. It's an interesting thing here is that Jesus is the one who's sending them. So it's kind of like, isn't Allah the one who sends the prophets? Why is Jesus sending them? Al-Suyuti, Al-Shokani, Al-Fayruz, Al-Samarkandi, Al-Mawardi, Al-Baghawi. Baghawi is pretty famous. Let's go to Ibn Jawzi. He's really up there. Ibn Jawzi. Okay, أضرب لهم مثل. Okay. وقال الزجاج المعنى مثل لهم مثلا أصحاب القرية وهو بدل كان قال اذكر لهم أصحاب القرية. Does it say who they are? Okay, أحدهم صادق والصدوق ابن عباس وكعب. Okay, again, Ibn Abbas, Sadiq and Saduq. الثاني يوحنا بولس. الثالث توما وبولس. Wow. Antakya, they agree that it's Antioch. So here we got three different ones. Okay, we got Paul, John, and Paul. And the third is Ringo. Nah, John, Paul, Ringo. Just kidding. No, it's John and Paul. And then the other one has Thomas, Tuman, Thomas, I guess, and Paul. Really, I sent me, let's see, copy. Okay. Paste. This one really has gone off the deep end in a sense here. You have Sadiq and Saduq. Okay, then you have John and Paul, and then you have two men and Paul. I bet you two men is supposed to be Thomas. Okay, and this is from who? Ibn Jawzi. Okay, I'm just looking here to see if we got any other different names here. Okay. Kathir. All right. So anyway, guys, we can keep doing this, and we're going to come up with more and more names. And you just gotta say, the Quran is very clear and detailed. How come? Let's look at it. Tabarsi. How come these? Um, we don't know who these messengers are. Uh, we do not know who they are, and these are messengers. It's not just this unsignificant detail. These guys are very important, part of the story, and so since the Quran is very, very clear about what the ants were saying, how come with something as important as the names of messengers is not included in the Quran? The Quran doesn't say, it just says two messengers, and then it leaves it to these guys to kind of explain, who are these messengers? And we do not know. We have lots of theories. Okay. The authority of Zayd Nafi. Okay. Enunciation. Okay. Two Hamzas. Okay. Light pronunciation. Okay. Zayd al Khudri. Okay. So I don't see any names in this. So that's my last one. Okay, this is my last one. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna just see one that I am familiar with. A lot of these guys you never heard. Al-Baghawi, did I do Al-Baghawi? Al-Juzi, Al-Aziz, Abd Salam. Okay, Nasafi. Nasafi is very well known too. Nasafi. Let's see what he has to say. Okay. Let's see if he has the name. When it's unclear, it just leaves so much up to conjecture. And the Quran says that it is very clear and detailed. Okay. Record. Okay. أرسلنا إليهم, the first. Okay, let's see the third second. No. Okay, summoned Simon. Okay, so here we have Simon. Okay, and so all right, we do have Simon here. Then Simeon. So we have Simon and Simeon here, which I think we've already included them in the list here. So anyway, just trying to show that, dang, who are these? Wow, I've got 81 comments. Let's see, Muhammad So writing is Muslims be like Muhammad. Okay. All right. 2 or 3 or gather together. My name, Jeremiah. Yes. Okay. So, we're not going to come to any clear, but the Quran says that it is clear. And so, because of the Quran says it's clear, I don't know if I can show this to you, but let me just show you the immense clarity. Okay, stop screen. And let's go ahead and share screen. A window. Okay, I think I might be able to show you this. Okay, oops, no, not this. Okay, no, it's not this. Stop screen. Share screen. Window. Okay, yeah. So here are some of the different theories of who those two are. Ibn Abbas says it's Simon the Canaanite and Thomas are the first two, and the third one is Simon Peter. Ibn Kathir says, he tells us first of all that the city is Antioch, and says the three are Sadiq, Suduk, and Shalom. Okay, it's the names that are not in the Bible. Ibn Jurayj and bin Sulaiman says it's Shamun, Yohanna, and Bulus. Now, Shamun, that would be Simon Peter, Yohanna, which is John, and Bulus, who's Paul. Zamashkhari says it's Simon and Simeon. Tabari says that there's a pharaoh involved in this story, named Antiochus. Pharaoh Antiochus, from Antioch. Pharaoh Antiochus from Antioch had a friend named Sadiq, Mazduk, and Salum. Sadiq, Mazduk, and Salum. Okay, that's a Tabari. Qurtubi, it's Sadiq, Suduk, and Shalom. Al-Naqash says it's Simeon and John are the first two. Al-Baydawi says it is Jonah and Simeon and Yahya. Yahya, who was John the Baptist, Eunice, who was Jonah, and Simeon, who was supposedly Peter. And then this last one, the Baghawi, one of them is Sadiq, Suduk, that's Ibn Abbas. The second is John and Paul, Wahab bin Munabih. Third is Tuman and Paul by Muqatil. So you got all these different, and one thing we still don't know who are the two messengers, and number 3, who is the third messenger. Okay, so you got 3 messengers here. You would think that this is something important to know who these messengers are, but we got all of these different ones, all these different explanations who they are, because the verse says nothing about what village it is, says nothing about who the first 2 are, and nothing about who the third is, to where it's left up to your imagination, or if you go to the scholars, you're going to get a bunch of different explanations of who they are, bunch of different theories. How many different people do we have here? Have one. We have a lot, but it just goes to show the Quran is neither clear nor detailed. Neither clear nor detailed. Okay. So that's kind of what I was just trying to show today. I got this verse from the Quran that says, he has revealed to you a book fully, excuse me, guys, fully detailed, fully detailed. There's so many passages like that. And yet we're here stuck trying to figure out who these three messengers are and what city they're going to. They're guessing it's Antioch. Fine, we'll give you that. But then who are they? Okay. And everybody's got a comment on it. Everybody knows about it, but we don't know who they are. Hello, Adam. E. Hello, Yusuf. Poor Muhammad. How about poor Ibn Mas'ud who waited there for 2 nights? Oh, yeah. All right, you guys. Well, you know what? We made it to an hour. So I thank you guys for being here. Thank you for spending some time with us. God bless you. And if you haven't done it, please do it now. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. يسوع ساعدني. يسوع سامحني. يسوع ادخل قلبي. We love you, but much more important, he loves you. God bless you guys.
If you have ever wondered why dull apologists lie so much, it's because on a rare occasion that they tell the truth, this happens.
One of the reasons I accepted Islam was the scientific miracles. I'll be honest with you. And now we know that this whole scientific miracles was absolute nonsense.
You're going to have to repeat that.
Now we know that this whole scientific miracle,
that the standard narrative has holes in it. That's what I'm going to say.